November 13, 1974. Night fell on Amityville, Long Island, shrouding the neighborhood in an eerie silence. Inside 112 Ocean Avenue, a horror was unfolding. Ronald DeFeo Jr., armed with a .35 caliber rifle, moved methodically through the house. His own family, his victims. One by one, he shot them in their beds. His parents, his two brothers, his two sisters. The murders were cold, calculated, and utterly senseless. When the police arrived, the house stood silent, a tomb hiding a gruesome secret. DeFeo's trial became a media sensation. He claimed voices in the house drove him to kill, a defense that chilled the public to the bone. Found guilty, he was sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences. The house on Ocean Avenue, once a symbol of suburban comfort, was now synonymous with unspeakable evil. It stood empty, a chilling reminder of the massacre that had stained its walls. December 1975. George and Kathy Lutz, a young couple with 3 children, found their dream home at 112 Ocean Avenue. The Dutch Colonial, with its gambrel roof and charming facade, was available at a price they couldn't resist. Despite its dark history, the Lutzes were undeterred. They saw an opportunity for a fresh start, a chance to fill the house with laughter and love, to banish the shadows of the past. But from the moment they moved in, a sense of unease settled over them. There were cold spots in certain rooms, despite the winter chill outside. A strange, sickly, sweet odor lingered in the air. Doors slammed shut on their own. Footsteps echoed in the hallway when no one was around. The children, especially young Missy, claimed to see a red-eyed pig outside their window. As days turned into nights, the occurrences grew increasingly disturbing. Kathy woke to find herself levitating above her bed, an unseen force holding her captive. George would wake in a cold sweat, hearing whispers of, "Get out," in the dead of night. The children's behavior changed too. Missy became withdrawn, talking to an imaginary friend named Jody, who, she claimed, lived in the house. The family dog refused to enter the house, whimpering and cowering at the threshold. A priest invited to bless the house was met with an unseen assailant. "Get out!" a voice boomed in his head, the force of it sending him reeling. Shaken and terrified, he fled the house, warning the Lutzes never to return. The house seemed to come alive, its malevolence growing with each passing day. Furniture moved on its own, objects flew across rooms with violent force. Kathy discovered strange markings on the floor, symbols that sent shivers down her spine. One night, George woke to find the house swarming with flies, a thick, buzzing mass that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. The stench was unbearable, the air thick with a sense of decay and evil. The family was living in a nightmare. Fear was a constant companion, their dream home transformed into a prison of terror. The Lutzes knew they had to escape, but where could they go, and what would follow them? After 28 days of unimaginable terror, the Lutzes reached their breaking point. Gathering what few belongings they could, they fled 112 Ocean Avenue, leaving behind the horrors that had haunted them. They left behind their furniture, their clothes, their possessions, all tainted by the evil that permeated the house. They left behind the hope and dreams they had carried with them, shattered by the nightmare they had endured. The Lutz family's story sent shockwaves across the nation. News of their terrifying ordeal spread like wildfire, turning the Amityville Horror into a chilling legend. Their story was met with a mixture of horror, disbelief, and morbid fascination. The Lutzes were never able to return to 112 Ocean Avenue. The house remained, a chilling monument to their terror. Subsequent residents reported strange occurrences, but nothing compared to the horrors the Lutzes claimed to have witnessed. Some believe that the house sits atop an ancient Indian burial ground, a portal to a realm of darkness. Others speculate that the evil that consumed the DeFeo family lingered, feeding on the fear of those who dared to enter. George Lutz, haunted by the experience, claimed that he often awoke to the smell of sewage, a chilling reminder of a secret room he discovered in the house, a hidden chamber accessed through a crawl space. The hidden room, he said, was a vortex of negative energy, a place where the air grew thick and cold, and the stench of death hung heavy. It was in this room, he believed, that the true evil resided, a malevolent entity trapped within the bowels of the house. The Lutz's story became the stuff of urban legend, a cautionary tale whispered around campfires and in hushed tones. The Amityville Horror entered the public consciousness, a chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed. Was it a true story, or an elaborate hoax? Opinions remain divided, but the legend persists, fueled by the chilling details of the Lutz's account and the enduring fascination with the paranormal. In the years that followed, investigators, psychics, and paranormal enthusiasts flocked to 112 Ocean Avenue, drawn by the stories and the possibility of glimpsing the unseen. Some claimed to have felt a presence, a chilling touch, or a whisper in the dark. Others reported seeing apparitions, shadowy figures that vanished as quickly as they appeared. The house, it seemed, refused to give up its secrets, holding tight to the darkness that had claimed the DeFeo family and terrorized the Lutzes. The Amityville Horror story continues to fascinate and terrify, a chilling reminder that there are forces in this world beyond our understanding, forces that can touch our lives in ways we never imagined. The Amityville Horror story became a media sensation. Books, documentaries, and movies attempted to capture the terror that unfolded within the walls of 112 Ocean Avenue. The most famous adaptation, The Amityville Horror from 1979, terrified audiences worldwide. The film, a fictionalized account of the Lutz family's experiences, became a box office hit, cementing the Amityville Horror's place in American horror culture. It spawned a franchise of sequels and remakes, each attempting to tap into the primal fear that the story evoked. But beyond the jump scares and special effects, the story resonated with audiences on a deeper level. It tapped into our fear of the unknown, the darkness that lurks at the edges of our perception, the unsettling possibility that our homes, our sanctuaries, could be invaded by something sinister. Despite the widespread fascination, the Amityville Horror story remains shrouded in controversy. Skeptics point to inconsistencies in the Lutz's accounts, questioning the veracity of their claims. Some suggest that the family fabricated or exaggerated their experiences for financial gain. Others argue that the Lutzes were genuinely traumatized by their time at 112 Ocean Avenue, whether by paranormal activity or by the psychological weight of the house's history. They point to the family's willingness to undergo lie detector tests and their consistent accounts of the events as evidence of their sincerity. The debate over the authenticity of the Amityville Horror continues to rage, with no definitive answers in sight. But perhaps the truth is less important than the enduring power of the story itself. The Amityville Horror, regardless of its veracity, has become a modern-day ghost story, a cautionary tale about the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of ordinary life. It has seeped into our collective consciousness, a chilling reminder that some places hold a power that we cannot explain. The house at 112 Ocean Avenue still stands, a silent sentinel to the horrors that may or may not have transpired within its walls. It remains a source of fascination and fear, a place where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, and the unknown whispers our deepest fears. The Amityville Horror story, true or not, continues to captivate our imaginations, reminding us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we cannot see, the ones that lurk in the shadows of our minds and the darkest corners of our homes.